you are a new or existing donor for a client, or if you would like to place an order for your donor vials stored at any location, press 1. If you are interested in private storage of sperm, please press 2. If you are a physician's office or medical facility, please press 3. Your call may be monitored or recorded for quality or training purposes. Please remain on the line and your call will be answered by the next available agent. If you would like to...
Thank you for calling California Crop Bank. How can I help you?
Hi there, I'm calling to find out a price of a donor vial that I've purchased before.
Okay, sure. What is the donor number?
I'm pulling that up right now, so sorry. Look up with some other of my information.
Let me take a look. Who am I speaking with?
My name is...
Let me take a look. So I can find your account, and for security purposes, can I have you verify your first pet's name? So you previously purchased donor 1. The donor shows as ID disclosure. So right now, each file is sold at $2,195.
$2,195. So could you explain to me a little bit about the price changes?
They just changed them since last year, November. So I know last year, prior to 2020 November, they were $12.45 files. So they've done some increases as they invested more into our donor catalog.
And so this cost is, this is for a vial for IVF use?
The files that he has IUI files, so they can be used for IUI or IVF procedure.
I see. And are there, I guess, the stock, how many vials are there in stock?
There's only 9 vials available, and it's only limited to anyone that's had a child with a donor.
I see. Okay, so each time that I have a confirmed pregnancy, do I need to notify you all each time, or just the first time is enough?
Well, it's best that you always report every reported pregnancy, so that way we can have it in our database and be able to track how many families there are.
Okay, well, I've had 2 pregnancies in 2023, but no live births. So I'm not sure.
Okay, so you can definitely report that information on our website once you click on your name on the top right, and then on the left side under the magenta color button, report a pregnancy.
I see. Okay. I will do that. Thank you so much for the quote, and I'll take it from there then.
Absolutely. Have a good day now.
You too. Bye-bye. Why is this cost going up and up and up and up and up? That's insane. I just called. When did I call? Right before November. Yep, that's what it was. He said it changed in November. I called before November, and it was $1,800. They've gone up again. Why? Jesus. $21.95 for 1 vial. Where is my spreadsheet? Yep. When we first purchased, it was $1,320. Then when I called just a few months ago, it was $1,800. Now it's $21.95. The fuck is happening? for one vial. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. $195. And that doesn't even include all the fees that are required in order to purchase, because you can't just go on and like purchase. That doesn't include shipping, I don't think. What? I'm so like discouraged. Girl. Jesus. Okay. Wait, that's what's her name? She looks like some. Okay, I can't focus. She looks like what's her name though from Halloween Town. Why am I doing this right now? Why? Why am I doing this right now? Because I'm upset and I'm on this fucking website looking at a bunch of pregnant people and it's upsetting. Why am I doing this?
Oi, lindezas, tudo bem? O Big Shop de hoje.
Kick it over me. No, you don't know me like that, and you sure as
I have a book. Probably between these two. But less about that really. Hey. Nice. Well, this week, in a bit of a struggle. I get tired. I hear myself saying this more and more, like almost every week, but, like everything's fine, but it was just like a test of, I don't know, like it wasn't easy in the sense of like crazy stuff with work going on, and I've just been feeling weird physically, so I don't know, but I need to narrow the things that have jumped out for me down, and I've narrowed them down to what's bothering me the most, to have control over the things that I like, or like or that bring me joy, or things that I feel like, I don't know, or just mine. More fine with it then than I am now. There's a huge communication inconsistency, which is bothering me because I'm bothered by the inconsistency in communication. I'm bothered, and I know it's not fair to gatekeep a whole head about like all these like intrusions and like things that I'm making up or possibilities, and it's like this is my time to like have fun and just escape everything that's happening here in this state. First of all, why? Like, I don't know, I feel like I'd be good. And I keep saying this with, I'm gonna take my ownership too. Had I just said no, then it would be the same result. So now it's like easy about the rest of it, because it's like, this is where I'm gonna jack myself up right here. I'm going to start thinking about and making decisions on how to get out of it, and then I'm gonna end up not going to the shit that I love because I'll be mad later on.
I like how
It's
you
so
said it.
annoying. I'm thinking about all the other scenarios. How jarring that would be for me. How like like I would be so bothered. I would be so upset. So I know that there is no like win. There's no win. And then I've thought about like just continuing to play it cool and just continue. I'm doing me. I'm going there for a reason. These are like my goals, and anything else that happens outside of that is none of my business. I think that's gonna bother me too, and look like the lonely asshole who doesn't want to play nice in a whole other. And it's just like, oh. It's one thing to look like the lonely asshole from out of town in a crowd full of strangers. Like everybody's coming from different places. We're just here. Versus now, there are people that I know that are here, and I'm choosing to like not be a part of whatever they got going on. And it's distracting just knowing that you're around the park with whatever, when I'm supposed to just be like in the vibe. I feel like that's easier said than done, to just like not think about it and just continue enjoying. I also hate to feel used. I've always hated that, whether it's like, it doesn't matter who it's from, who it's by. Like, you couldn't have just Googled that shit and left me alone? Does have quite a bit of pull on my emotions, and it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. There was another situation that happened the end of last week as it pertains to work, and it was a whole big company to do. Somebody on a call yelled out some really hostile, derogatory things, and rather than just letting the company not get away with it, but just allowing them to like sweep this under the rug and act like it's no big deal, I kind of went out of my way for the first time to let my voice be heard about it. And that was a really reactive, really instinctive thing that I felt physically that I needed to get out and to do and to make known with the company. But situations like that always circle me back to a really strong memory that I have in 2020, when I was without a job, get away and to just travel. And we weren't really, I didn't have any money to travel. And it was an argument from the time, like before we made the decision, all the way to the back. And that particular trip with George Floyd had just been killed. I mean, there was a lot going on. You could cut outside air with a knife. We ended up getting into a really, really bad argument. Do something. And in my perspective, I felt it stupid and unsafe versus jumping in there and, you know, fighting for what's right. And I'm like, we need to pick and choose our battles and think about our safety and like come at this a different way. We got into like an explosive argument which was a whole other thing. It's first of all disrespectful. And for me being in the financial position I put myself, quitting my job in 2019, and now we're here on this trip that I can't afford and I don't have a job. And then you throw your dime that along the lines of like me not having a backbone and me being afraid of everything and me not having anything to stand for or fight for. And that has always like stuck to my side because in hindsight, there was some truth to that. Like I've never really experienced outright direct racism, sexism, classism, any of the isms. I've not experienced any kind of social awkwardness or injustice or anything. So if there is any kind of discomfort, I stay away from it, or I avoid conflict, or I don't talk about it, or I don't sign up for this, or I don't whatever. And so that was a teachable moment for me, but it's also like very, like anytime something happens, I go back to, okay, well, if you're not going to stand up for this, then what are you going to stand up for? Especially me having all of my pinky toes in all of the minority buckets. It's like, okay, well, what do you do? So anyways, I say all that to say that was the second major thing that I kind of wanted to address about why this week was so crazy. But like she, like not subconsciously, but on my mind a lot. Whether it's like bad memories, whether it's like just, I don't know. It's annoying, and I fucking hate like that layer that I still have not like wiped up. It's so disruptive. There's a big part of me that wants to take the easy way out, and I really, really wish that somebody else would come into my life and totally distract me from that. But there isn't anybody. And every time I go on the stupid app just to see, because I'm curious or I'm feeling like a moment of loneliness, I'm like, this isn't where I'm supposed to be. There isn't anybody here that I deserve. There are still parts of me that I want to tighten up and strengthen before someone does come along that I'm really interested in. But it's like, it's cold. I want my blanket and my sweater. Oh my god. Oh, my new shirt. Did I tell you guys I got a new Tupac shirt? I got a new Tupac shirt. I'm so happy. Love it. I should just start a Tupac shirt collection. That would be dope. But I'm gonna cover him up because it's cold. I'm cold. Oh gosh. Keeps raining. And I love the rain, but jeez. Yikes. So I'm editing, and I've got two mashups, right? I've got the one where I'm on the phone with the people with the stuff. I'm on the phone with the cryobank, and I'm flabbergasted. I mean, speechless for minutes about the increase in cost for a vial of donor these days. And I'm just like, okay, add another brick to my back of IVF and infertility. The cost is just like, I mean, just because bread and eggs and milk and everything else and housing and rent and gas and everything else has gone up doesn't mean sperm has to go up. The fuck? Sperm? Which there's plenty of? It's the eggs that should cost $1 million. No, it shouldn't. Leave the eggs alone, please, because there are people out there, including me, possibly me, eventually, possibly. I'm not saying I want that, but I just need to leave that door open. There are a lot of us out there who need the cost of not just sperm, but eggs also to remain at a reasonable fee. So anyways, that video, and I'm just like, just whelmed, okay? Whelmed. And this was back in, I think I had made it out of January. This was like the beginning of February where for whatever reason, I don't know what was going on in my head that week, but for whatever reason, I decided that I wanted to start looking into things. And so I contacted my fertility benefit to find out how much money, after the dust had settled for 2023, how much of the benefit I had left. I have a nice chunk. I still have a nice chunk, a little more than 50% of the fertility benefit, which is like amazing. But also, it's only amazing because you have to meet your deductible in order for it to kick in. So I actually spent, how many rounds? I've done like 7 rounds. And I've spent thousands of my own medical dollars towards all the stuff before that's kicked in. Anyways, so I've got a nice chunk of fertility benefit left, along with, me making this call to find out how much sperm is, and like, just kind of like, getting my ducks in a row for starting completely the hell over. Not just like starting another round when I, decide that I'm ready and like, period starts, 72 hours, got to be in Cali, call the people, get them ready. It's not just that. Like now I'm out of donor, so I have to secure the vial, have it shipped, which shouldn't be that bad now considering it's Cali to Cali, everything's in Cali. Have it shipped to the center. Actually, I don't even know. I think I have to call the center and let them know that I'm sending them a package, precious package. Pay the fee, because there's a fee for them to receive it. So it's like an administrative fee plus a lab receiving fee. And so that. And then I call the people, have them send it, pay that. It's like the vial, taxes, shipping. Oh, and the fee to even, like I have to renew my membership. Like you have to pay a fee / membership in order to fill out the application, in order to purchase, in order blah, blah, blah. So that, and then I can start with, when I'm ready, blah, blah, blah. But now I also am like wanting to do, like start completely over, like from scratch, testing, like I'm down for the testing now. Like I want to make sure my uterus is in decent shape still, see where these fibroids are at, see if there's any endo. Well, I don't think there are any tests at this point that can test endo without having a surgery, and I'm trying to avoid surgery, so I don't know. I'll have to see where science has gotten us at this point, but there's that. And then I'm also considering like if I should do another round of PRP. Oh my God. that painful, awful, dreadful, but very effective as experimental treatment, also expensive as hell. I'm contemplating on whether I want to have that done or not. So all of this is going to take months, right? I would say, like, I don't know, probably the purchasing and shipping and all of that could happen within a month. But the testing and possible, like, PRP, the testing for sure would probably take another month. PRP, once I was ready, which means having the fee to do PRP, because it's cash only. Once I got that ready, that would be another month. So yeah, we're talking months, like probably 6 months. Probably, like, let's just throw that out there. Anyways, I'm saying all this now because I'm in the headspace to, like, kind of say it and think about it. But when I made that call, I don't know what had come over me. I feel like it was entirely too soon for me to even be thinking about starting another round. But I did, and it was totally upsetting. And I don't know, there's, like, so far this year, obviously, with having my loss in January, like, I've been mad at the fucking world, like, deep, deep, deep down. And, like, there's, like, a little nugget that's just, like, pissed at life. I'm mad about everything that's ever happened to me or, like, involving me, or, like, I'm mad about everything. It's like when you cry about one thing and you can't stop crying, you're, like, crying about everything, it all comes out. It's kind of this, like, a similar idea. But it's also kind of like a weird feeling because on the outside, and, like, even, like, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job at, like, playing myself. Like, I honestly feel like for the most part I'm okay, but there are things that happen and I have, like, these intrusive thoughts that get in that make me say, bitch, you're not ready. You're not ready for any of this. You're still extremely heartbroken on top of heartbroken on top of heartbroken. And I mean, like, there are layers and layers, baklava, bitch, of heartbreak that we need to crack through. And I think it's cracking itself. And the reason why I have these two mashed up together, the whole thinking about the baby thing and this whole very vague, because I cut the whole shit into smithereens, so you really don't have any context. There's this other situation that's currently happening. We're in March now, where I'm faced with a decision to forfeit something that I had planned to kind of, like, fill my cup back up and just kind of, like, bring me joy and have a good time and, like, rest and just do me. I'm having to choose between doing that and having to deal with, like, a situation from, like, my past that I, like, of all the things in the planet, like, I just don't. I don't, and I'm upset about it. And I'm upset that I'm even having to think about, like, wasting my, like, I don't want to stress about this. Like, it's defeating the whole purpose of me wanting to do it and, like, give myself a retreat. So between that and, like, totally forfeiting and backing out and doing something else that's, like, somewhat on a level playing field for the same cost, which I kind of started looking into, and the only other thing that I would want to do is a redo of another something that I'm a fucking mess. My past is a mess, I'm a mess, and I'm trying to, like, escape it, and I can't fucking escape it. And I really, really want to. So it's like every time I turn around to, like, choose a different path, it's like, boom, here's your problem. Boom, here's your problem. In your face, deal with it, deal with it. And I don't want to deal with it. I want to pivot and go do something else, which is, like, totally me. But I'm also in control, hence Jackie telling me that I'm giving this situation too much power. I need to take my power back. I'm in control. I could have done this. I should have done this, blah, blah, blah. She won't should on me and she won't let me should on myself. But I know it's like, you have the choice, like you have the opportunity every single time to stop this and you don't, and that's why you're still dealing with it. And so it's hard for me, obviously, otherwise I would have done it already. It's hard for me because at the same time, and I know I'm going down a rabbit hole and you don't understand, and that's fucking fine. It really is. I am also like stuck between a rock and a hard place of like that romantic in me is still like, well, what if this is like meant to be, and like somehow this weird ass uncomfortable irritating path that I'm on is supposed to lead me back to my soulmate and blah 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 blah, and I keep blocking it and fucking it up, and maybe I'm the heartless one and blah 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 blah. I'm between that and like not accepting that this is not supposed to be. Like this is not who I'm feeling and thinking, and like this is not supposed to be, right? I don't want to mess up my own shit. I feel like it's very possible to sabotage yourself, and I don't want to do that. But I mean, I don't know, when I like think about it and say it out loud to myself, I feel so stupid. I feel like the person who just won't move on and won't get over it and won't just like, I don't know, deal. But then like I go down this like comparison rabbit hole. I'm looking at everybody else that's ever had a fucking struggle in their relationship and how they worked it out. Like worse things, awful things, how they worked it out, and they're like married for like 50 years plus and blah 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 blah. And it's like, if that's acceptable, if this awful traumatic life altering thing that happened in your relationship happened and you worked through it and you fought for each other and blah blah blah, and it's working for you, why is that acceptable? And why is it not acceptable for me to have doubts that I'm getting in the way of my own healing as far as like this relationship goes, or lack thereof, or whatever the situation is? You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Anyway, so I say all that to say that I have moments where I am blaming that situation for ruining my life, the way that I saw it going, the way that I wanted it to be, the way that I still wish it could have been. The situation won't go away because I keep like not fully committing 100% to the things that I say. And like, so I have accountability, right? Like there are things that I'm not doing to fully like give it a 100% go at no contact and just like sever it, because I just can't. There's so much in the past that nobody knows about. There's so much that's just like, will forever be like a part of me, and like will always be. Girl, there were goods and there were bads, and there were amazings and there were some pretty bads. But like the amazings always like float to the top, like oil and water. They always float to the top. And then every once in a while, I shake that shit up and I have a memory of the bad. And I'm just like, girl, why can't you? Like, why won't you again? Like, what are you doing? So circling back to what the fuck I'm getting at is I'm I've now talked myself and overthought myself into sabotaging this joy that I was so excited and confident about having in a couple months. I'm now thinking if I want to put myself through the torture that could or could not happen, or if I want to back out and go find something else to do, or if I want to completely forfeit my joy again, sacrifice my joy again, and if this is a sign to use my time and money towards just like starting another round and getting back in there. And I feel like a crazy person by saying that. I really do. But here recently, as the days go by, I'm feeling increasingly ready to start again. And like I said, since it's going to take several months anyways, I wonder if I should just start. Just start and like not focus on the bullshit. But it's also like, I feel like I need the bullshit. Like this year was supposed to be like about fun and healing and replenishing and like ending deprivation and sacrifice and just having fun and enjoying my youth. And like getting back to me. And so like I'm playing tug of war with my own thoughts about what I want to do here. But it's just kind of weird how this has all come about because I fucking can't let go of old. Anyways, I just thought I'd come in and try to make sense of what this was. I probably didn't do a very good job, but I don't care. Tupac shirt. Let me continue editing. That's enough for this video, I think.